Hey everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and I wanted to talk about kind of playing little games with ourselves to enhance our reading abilities. And these are just some tips. You can do what you wish. Maybe you have your own games that you play with yourself to help you deepen your connection with your cards and deepen your connection with your intuition and just having fun. So sometimes what I do as a game is I will watch a television show. I don't really watch TV now, but when I had a lot of time, I would watch television shows. Now I mostly watch YouTube videos. That's just the world that I'm in, so I watch those. But I will shuffle cards, right? And not even I just like shuffling, first of all. This is of itself. And then I'll say, oh, this person's talking about their hard time story, and I'll see what's coming up. I'll see what's coming up, and then the cards will just jump. I kid you not. What ends up happening is the cards will start to either predict what's next going to be discussed, or will confirm what's being said in the video or in the television show. And so I just play this game, and then sometimes I'll take it a step further. After I might pause the show or pause the video, and I'll say, okay, well, let me kind of work through my interpretations here. And I might even find some interpretations that aren't the usual, that still are within the parameters of, say, a tarot, card for the meaning of Eight of Wands, but then maybe you might look at more of the obscure ways of understanding how the Eight of Wands is in a reading. So I play around with that, and I'll say, maybe to that situation, that's what it's speaking to. It's so comforting and easy to do a tarot reading or have the cards jump, because I only use jumpers. And you don't have to use only jumpers. I use jumpers. You can actually pick the cards if you want. But I find it so fascinating that it will jump to what the person on YouTube or the television show is talking about. Or if I'm watching the news, it does it too. It'll start throwing out the Tower card and this and that. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's picking up on that. And it's just a fun game that I love to play. So that's something I'll do, is I'll just shuffle the cards. Another thing that you can do is if you are having, if you work outside the home, you don't have you could do this for business, your own businesses as well. But let's say you have meetings and you just kind of want to know, what's the nature of that meeting? What's it going to be? What's the essence? What's the whole premise of this meeting? What's it about? And you just want to see quickly. This is quick confirmation on whether or not you're in tune with your cards, because you're going to get your answers pretty instantaneous. So you got a 1 o'clock meeting, right? You got a 1 o'clock meeting with your boss and your colleagues. You're not sure what your boss is going to talk about. They were vague. And you're like, I wonder what they're going to talk about. You could throw some cards on it. And that's another thing. So we got fork in the road. They want to talk about different choices, that maybe before us that we can't, that we haven't really seen yet. We didn't know that we're going to be faced with a particular fork in the road, a choice that needs to be made, a direction of where we need to go. Do we go where others that have gone before us go in that direction, or do we need to try something new and be innovative? So you can play with that. You can play with something as safe as, what's the next unit meeting going to be about? What's this big meeting that they were being kind of secretive about? What do the cards say about that? And so that's another fun way. I mean, it's not always fun. I've had the cards predict closures, business closures. So, but some people, that could be a blessing, and some people could be really a bummer. Just depends on how you look at it. For me, I was like, come on, close. I can get a severance and some time off. But I'm a little different, I had other things cooking. So I was like, whatever. But other people, not so much. And that's okay. Firecrackers, and Bishop is not happy at all. So that's another game that I play with my cards is, what is this? What's the nature of this meeting? Or how is this lunch going to go? And usually if I'm hanging out with my friends, I get the 3 of Cups or something like that. Because I think it's like already kind of my influence on the energies. But that's how I play with it, for a number of reasons with my cards, especially if I want to start working with the deck and I have a sense that this is going to be a potential working deck in my collection. I want to make sure that it's one that I feel good about reading with. And so you're not going to always be just busting it out, just starting out reading, even for myself. I just want to see how you do, which is the fun of it all. How are we going to get along? Are you a serious deck that I can only be in ritual, have the candles going, have everything set? I got to have this over here. It's got to be certain questions. Then I can sit down and do a reading with you. Or are you just going to be my home girl or my home boy from around the way? And we just like back when we were in high school, and now we're in our 40s and we're kicking it like we never missed a beat. We don't need nothing spectacular. We just need each other. Are you going to be that kind of deck? So how I get to know my decks is those little ways, not just deck interviews, but also interacting with it in the most mundane of ways. Watching YouTube videos. What's going to happen next? What do they really mean behind what they're saying in this story? What's the essence of what they're really talking about in their story time? This television show, this documentary, it's so fascinating how even the tarot picks up on that, or the oracle. It's so cool. And then if you're a new reader, you start to build confidence too, not just with your relationship with this new deck, but your abilities as a reader. So that's just some things I wanted to throw out there for those who want to get to know their deck a little bit better, and finding other ways aside from a deck interview to get to know their deck, or aside from having to do countless readings for other people, which I think is super important and should be done. You should be doing readings for people if you're new. Lots of readings. Lots and lots and lots of readings. But sometimes you don't feel like doing readings for folks. Sometimes you want to be in your bed, like I am, with our TV up on the wall, shuffling the cards and letting the cards jump and talking to me. And I'm like talking. It's almost feels like my grandmother. When they would send me when I was a little girl to Mississippi for the summer to stay with my maternal grandmother. Her name was Ella, and my daughter's named after her. And she and I would lay up in her bed, and she had her TV across the room, and she would talk at it. I talk at it because I started picking up on that habit. And I do the same thing with my cards. I talk at them. I talk with them. We talking about what's going on the TV screen. And I laugh to myself because I think she would be tickled pink and just happy that I'm using the cards. And then she would be totally fascinated and would want me to see what the cards would say to her favorite soap operas. I just know it. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's all. Let us know some different fun ways that you interact. Some easy fun ways that you interact. Oh, before I let you guys go, there is one. There is a couple, actually. One main one. We'll just focus on one main one because I was wrapping up this video. When you don't feel like going out. I saw a spread in this little book of spreads. Oh, gosh. It was... what excuse can you use to provide when you don't want to do something? And then you throw a card, especially tarot. This will work really well with tarot, I think. And you got your excuse. Little things like that. That book, in the back of that book, it had a lot of little fun little bits and bobs on how to play with your deck without having to do full-on readings. I will link that spreads book in the description box below. I need to make a note of that because I might forget. But if I do forget, guys, don't forget to ask me. It's actually not even a book that is for spreads, general spreads. It's like a healer's tarot spread book, not necessarily just for folks. You know what I mean. But I got you. It's got actually in the back of the book so many different little fun ways to interact with your deck you wouldn't believe. And they're easy. I look for easy. Easy peasy. So share in the comments below. I will get to you all when I can, because I'm so busy with readings. It's kind of difficult for me to get to comments on YouTube right now. I do intend to get to all of them when I can, but they pile in and I try to get to as many as I can. So please bear with me. But in the meanwhile, please comment anyway, because I do look at them and other people do too, and we learn from each other. This is a learning community. Abundant Life Tarot is just that. Abundant life for everyone. Everyone who wants to be here and learn. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me and watching and supporting. And so much love to all of you. Please take very, very good care of yourselves, because I want you to come on back. All right. Bye.